Do you know which stocks are paying the highest dividends this year? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss these videos. Now we're going to talk about UK defense, its shares and juicy dividends. Watch to the end, I've left a present there. As long as countries need armed forces, intelligence agencies, and law enforcement, governments will fund them, meaning that many top defense companies can often rely on a fairly consistent stream of revenue from government contracts. The special military operation in Ukraine has caused a reassessment of defense capabilities around the world, with the UK being one of several countries looking to increase spending in the coming years. Defense stocks are likely to benefit from this potential increase in global defense budgets, and indeed share prices of many defense companies have risen in 2022 as governments have promised more money to their armed forces. So, what are some of the top UK defense stocks to watch? BAE Systems. BAE Systems is an arms, security and aerospace company, which is the largest defense contractor in Europe and one of the largest worldwide. Despite a downward trend in global defense budgets, BAE Systems has managed to continue generating reliable revenue and profits for a number of years. However, anticipation that the events of the last year will result in increased military spending in the future has led BAE's share price to soar. In its half-year report, BAE highlights that they are positioned strongly to benefit from increased defense spending in many of their key markets. In Europe, Germany have announced they will increase defense expenditure, and news that Sweden and Finland are trying to join the NATO alliance could lead to increased spending from both. Furthermore, the recently announced AUKUS partnership should benefit BAE, who are the largest defense provider in the UK and Australia. In 2022, BAE Systems' share price rose 56%, making it the FTSE 100's top performer for the year. However, whether or not BAE will be able to match this kind of growth in the future, or if the potential increase in defense budgets justify this steep rise, is not yet clear. Nevertheless, BAE's dividend policy is probably more of a draw for investors than its growth prospects. The company has hiked its dividend payouts every year since 2004, and even after the stock's excellent performance last year, it still boasts a dividend yield of 3%. Before we move on to a company you weren't even expecting to hear, I'll ask you to subscribe to the channel and like it so you don't miss the video about the companies with the highest dividend payouts. Thank you. Rolls-Royce Holdings. Although the name is perhaps more closely associated with the brand of luxury cars, Rolls-Royce Holdings is a multinational aerospace and defense company. At one point, the company was also responsible for the automobiles of the same name. However, after entering liquidation, Rolls-Royce was nationalised by the UK government in 1971, who spun off the automobile division, allowing the parent company to concentrate on jet engine manufacturing. In 1987, Rolls-Royce returned to the stock market. Still specializing in jet engines, Rolls-Royce has a civil aerospace division and a defense division which produces aero engines for military transport and patrol aircraft. The latter was responsible for 30% of the company's total revenue in 2021. The UK and US are the company's largest defense markets. In 2021, Rolls-Royce won a contract worth $2.6 billion to become the new provider of power for the US fleet of B-52 aircraft, as well as confirming it would continue to be the sole supply of propulsion systems for the UK's next generation of nuclear-powered submarines. In 2022, the company won a further 2 contracts worth more than $3.6 billion to service engines for US Navy and Marine Corps aircraft. The long-term price chart for Rolls-Royce does not make easy viewing for shareholders, who have endured a thoroughly and satisfying 5 years. After closing at a 4-year high in 2018, the Rolls-Royce share price fell 91% by the end of 2022. However, at the time of writing, the share price has been performing well. In the 4-month period ended the 31st of January 2023, The stock gained 52%. The pandemic was not kind to Rolls-Royce. Its civil aerospace division, which contributed 40% of total revenue in 2021, struggled as international travel ground to a halt. However, the division is showing signs of recovery and should continue to benefit from the ongoing rebound in travel, with engine flying hours expected to return to pre-pandemic levels in 2024. Thank you for subscribing and liking.